Everyone is talking about the US market right now. And fair enough, the S&P 500 returned 26% in 2023, 25% in 2024, and almost 18% in 2025. 3 incredible years back to back. Meanwhile, in India, it's been a lot quieter. As at the time of recording this video, the Nifty 50 is down over 11% since the start of 2026. So the question is, has India lost its edge? Or is this actually exactly the kind of period long-term investors should want? Hello fellow Arbab, it's time to boss your money. I'm Kenneth and I've been working in finance and audit for almost 2 decades now. And I want to be upfront, nothing in this video is financial advice. This is purely educational and I'll be sharing what I personally do with my own money. Please do your own research. Now let's get into it. Let's start with the numbers because honestly they're hard to argue with. The S&P 500 returned around 26% in 2023, 25% in 2024 and almost 18% in 2025. That's 3 consecutive years of exceptional returns. And when you consider that the long-term average return of the S&P 500 is roughly around 10% a year, what we've seen recently has been unusually strong. So if you've been investing in CSPX or any other S&P 500 ETF over this period, genuinely good for you. That's been a fantastic run. And if you watched my previous CSPX video, you'll remember I said this. But if I had a limited budget and wanted a simple, diversified, long-term portfolio as an NRI in the UAE, here's what I would do to personally start. CSPX for US market exposure, a flexi cap Indian mutual fund for Indian exposure, and a world fund for broader global diversification. And we'll save those for a different future video. Well, today we are finally talking about the India side of the equation. 2023 was solid for Indian markets. The Nifty 50 delivered around 19%. But then things slowed down. Foreign institutional investors started pulling money out, corporate earnings growth cooled, sentiment weakened, and after hitting highs in September 2024, the market corrected meaningfully. The Nifty 50 is now down over 11% from those highs at the time of recording this video. And this is where a lot of investors start asking, should I stop investing in India? Personally, I don't think that's the right question because markets move in cycles. The same US markets that's been phenomenal over the last few years have also gone through crashes, bear markets, and even long periods where returns went nowhere. India will have hot periods and slower periods also. Nobody rings a bell at the top, nobody rings a bell at the bottom. And this is exactly why I personally believe in monthly investing. Because when markets cool off, your money buys more units. When markets are euphoric, your money buys fewer units. You don't need to predict the future. You don't need to guess the bottoms. You don't need to know when the next rally starts. You just need consistency. Over the last decade, India has still delivered strong long-term returns despite corrections and volatility along the way, which is why a quieter period in the market doesn't scare me personally. If anything, a long-term investor doing SIPs or dollar cost averaging, it can actually be helpful. Now, as I said, this is not financial advice. This is simply what I personally do with my own money. This is for educational purposes only. Do your own research before investing. I personally invest in both. Every single month for the US, CSPX. I've done a full video on this already, so watch that after this video to know more about CSPX. And for India, I personally use ICICI to do my investing through my NRI account. And if you decide to invest in India, obviously you'll need to send money there first. I personally started using Aspora for their Google exchange rate transfers. And if you use my link in the description or pinned comment, your first transfer is free. Try it out if you haven't already. I've also done a full breakdown video on Aspora if you want more details. Coming back to investing, I keep things relatively focused. I personally invest in Mirai Asset Nifty Mid Cap 150 ETF, the Mirai Asset Nifty Mid Small Cap 400 Momentum Quality 100 ETF, the Motilal Oswal Nifty Small Cap 250 ETF, and the ICICI Prudential Value Fund. Now, these are my personal choices. They are not recommendations. If you're getting started, honestly, I'd keep things simple and just start with a good flexi cap fund from a reputable fund house. Simple beats complicated when you're starting. You can always optimize later. So India or the US? If you force me to choose, I actually think that's the wrong question. I want both because they move differently. Different strengths, different cycles, and different risks. The US gives you exposure to some of the world's biggest and most profitable companies. India gives you exposure to one of the fastest growing major economies in the world. The history suggests leadership changes over time. The US has had an incredible run recently, and India has had a quieter period. They won't stay the same forever. So for me personally, I just keep investing in both every single month, regardless of headlines. Watch my CSPX video next if you want to understand how to invest in the US market as an NRI, or watch my Aspora video if you want to know the best way to move money to India. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. We are getting really close to the 10K sub mark. Every single one of you genuinely matter. Yalla Arbab, now go boss your money.